Hi guys, I'm Crystal with Crystal Clear Photography. I'm a brand photographer, content creator, strategist, and flat lay photography lover. I'm coming to you today on my vlog to talk to you a little bit about how to be real in Instagram and still be professional at the same time. I chose this particular topic because coming from the HR and corporate world, I learned how to be extremely professional, and I had to do things kind of in reverse for most people, and that was me learning to be a little bit more relaxed and add a little bit more personality and scaling back the professionalism. But for some people that I've worked with, you want to know, how am I supposed to add in the professional piece into something that has been personal for me? This is why sometimes having two different Instagrams can be really beneficial, because you want people to see your Instagram from a business perspective and really get an opportunity of who you are, but also what you have to offer, how you can help address the pain points that they have, and then keeping some of the personal things like dinner with grandma, kids running around in the backyard and things like that, a little bit more personal. For me, the way I kind of divide it up is I utilize my Instagram stories as well as my feed to tell different types of content. So maybe I talk a little bit about the mom boss side of things because it's something I've always shared with you guys, and I'll add a photo of my kids in at that point if it fits my feed. But most of the time I stick most of my personal things with behind the scenes, cute little things that we're doing through my Instagram stories. So it's just kind of a quick highlight of, hey, here's a little bit of my life without inundating my feed, so that my feed stays a little bit more structured towards my business. That being said, here are a couple of things that I wanted to kind of go over to help you hopefully feel like you can integrate a little bit of your personality but maintain some of the professionalism throughout your Instagram business channel. That being said, obviously using professional images is going to be the first thing that I will touch on. Photography is an investment, but it's going to show people that you are serious about your business. Having professional images is a big deal. Everything is visual, whether it's the video you're watching right now, the Instagram feed, your marketing materials, the printed materials that you're putting out there. All of those things have a story to tell for you and your business. So if you're not taking an opportunity to invest in good quality images, it could be actually hurting your business, because people aren't going to want to look at that. People are going to want to look at things that are pretty, that are well thought out, that are styled, that reflect you, your brand, and the things that you have to offer. It also adds a sense of professionalism to your business, because it says, hey, this person's at a serious level. They're investing in their own business. They've got a clean, sleek look, which means that giving this person my money is going to be something I'm more apt to do. So that's the reason why I highlight a little bit on professional images, because it is important, even though it is a bit of an investment for some of us business owners, especially starting out. So the next thing I would talk about is how you can insert your personality without telling everything. And that's just finding key things that you can talk about. So for instance, over the last year, my daughter was battling cancer. I wanted to tell people that because I wanted people to understand kind of where I was in my business, what was going on, why things might be slightly delayed, and obviously affecting the way that I was able to take on clients. But I didn't go into the really bad details of the hospital visits and the emotions and all the things that we went through. I told people just enough so that you guys were able to feel engaged and you kind of knew what was going on and you had hope and you could have some understanding of what we were facing, but I didn't go into all of the details. So sometimes it's just kind of giving people the highlights. That's why social media is a highlight reel, and is not actually someone's real life. But it gives you an opportunity to still be able to allow people to relate to you, like when you're trying to film videos and your kids are running around crazy screaming in the background. Things that other moms or other business owners or other women out there can relate to without having to tell them everything. It's just like when you're talking to your in-laws. You want to give them the highlights, you want to let them know what's going on, tell them the funny stories without giving them all of the details that they may or may not really be interested in or that you don't really want to divulge. Make sense? So hopefully that does, and kind of gives you a little bit more perspective on the types of things that you would want to share or put out there with your audience. So tell everybody some intriguing things about you, add your personality in there, just don't overshare or give too much information. Another tip to kind of maintaining realism and professionalism on Instagram would be that when you go to shoot your social media images and you've invested in doing the photography, keep it real. Don't put yourself in a setting where you wouldn't be. So for me, like going and sitting in a microbrewery doesn't fit my brand and it doesn't really fit my personality. I'm a wino, so brewery won't work. But for you, do the same thing. So think of locations, props, outfits, and things that are still going to be fitted to your personality, so it adds that realism. Because the other aspect of it that I get from a lot of business owners is that sometimes you guys are like, oh, I don't want to invest in photos because it feels inauthentic to have someone professionally do images for me. And that's not true. That's why brand photography is a thing, is it's kind of infusing your personality and your brand together so that it feels authentic and you can show your audience who you really are. So when I work with clients, I encourage them to wear outfits and things that they would wear. If you don't wear heels, don't wear heels in your photo shoot. If you read books, then bring books. If you're, more of a tech geek and you've got your phone and your iPad and all the other electronic devices, then I have you bring those types of props and we incorporate those things in your photo shoot. So I really want you to challenge yourself to make sure that the things that you're shooting and the things that you're showing off in your feed are really true to yourself, so you have things to actually talk about, as opposed to getting stuck and having these photos that are overly professional, not your style at all, and then you're not able to relate to your audience any kind of way. Not to mention you're kind of challenging your own personality in a sense. So the last thing I'll touch on is using details and flat lays. If you don't want to have yourself in your feed the whole time, don't. I stress this all the time with the people that I work with. Shoot yourself some flat lays. Invest in a couple of stock photos. There are so many stock shops now that have great deals set up that you can get some stock photos to incorporate. Or you can have a custom set of photos done for your product or your service-based business so that you can fill those items in here and there. Not every single profile has to have a picture of the individual who's running the business or the blogger all the time. Use the detailed shots, use the hands on the computer, use your hands close up on your coffee mug, things like that that you can incorporate throughout your feed. Something else that I promote as well is utilizing your brand images to the full extent. So this will also help you kind of maintain the realism, but it also gives you another way of utilizing your images. So when you take these stock photos or you take the images in your brand shoot, make sure that you're optimizing your images. Zoom in on the coffee mug and talk to people about why this particular mug is special to you. Zoom in on a particular book and have it, in your hands, it's open and you're reading it, and talk to people about this book and the impact that it made, or the things that you learned from it, or the stuff that other people could share or relate to. So really make sure that you're utilizing the most of your images. So quickly to recap, use professional images. It says a lot about your business. It shows the professionalism and the time that you took to invest in your own business. Make sure that when you're going through to insert captions and things like that, that you insert bits of your personality, but you don't tell everybody everything. So, add some of the details and things in there, but you don't have to tell everyone the entire story. In some cases, it's okay to kind of keep some of those things to yourself, but infuse that personality throughout your feed and your content. The other thing was making sure to do your photo shoot in areas and places that are going to be fit to you and your style and your brand. Make sure that the props you pick and the clothes that you choose do the same thing as well. So that way overall you have everything infused through you and your personality and your brand, and it gives you more to talk about. Lastly, make sure to use detailed photos and flat lays throughout your feed as well. Mix it up a bit, add some personality, highlight on some of those props and things that you brought throughout your shoot so that you can give yourself a little bit more to talk about and give your audience some other ways of relating to you without your face always having to be in your feed. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave me a comment or send me an email at info@crystalclearphotographyaz.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see me talk about, please also feel free to shoot me an email. I love making sure that my content is going to be more relative to you and the business pain points that you're having right now.